Hi, I'm Margaret, as you probably know, and this is Hydraulics Drafting. In this class, we are going to learn how to draw hydraulics schematics and pneumatic schematics. Hydraulics operates with oil, pneumatics operate with air, and they are both fluid power. So really this class should be called Fluid Power Drafting, but oh well. This drawing that you see at the top of the page is an example of a hydraulics schematic. So this is a system that uses hydraulic oil. And these two things on the right end, these are cylinders. Right here, we see a directional control valve. We also have a pressure relief valve here. This system is driven by a pump, which is powered by an electric motor, and the pump has a filter on it. These symbols at the bottom indicate that the oil drains back to the tank. And there are 3 tank symbols here, but in fact, there's only one tank in this system. In hydraulic schematics, we draw them this way to keep the drawing clean and uncluttered and not have lines crossing each other. So everything drains back to tank, and it's all one tank. All right, let's see, what do we want to do? I know I'm sure you've heard this over and over again. You're really familiar with all this stuff by now. The resources on the right, the hamburger on the left, da-da-da. Let's just go look at our syllabus and our schedule thing. This could be short. So syllabus, oh wait, I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that because I already had the syllabus open. The syllabus, here's a Word doc. Under the textbook, it lists this fluid power chapter from the companion website for this textbook. I don't know about you, but I find companion websites annoying sometimes, or at least time-consuming. So to save you that headache, I have downloaded the PDF chapter for you already. I'll show you where that is in a minute. Let's see, we're going to do 2 drawings, so you'll want some way of backing up your CAD drawings. And you'll want a super simple calculator. I'll show you in a minute why. Nothing too horrible, but you want a calculator. What else do I want to say? Anything? Not really. This is the usual stuff with me making the sermon, 2 sermons. Be sure to stay in touch with your advisor, and be sure to let me know if you have any needs, any learning differences, whatever you need, let me know. Outside of Center for Accessible Resources, let me know what you need. That's the syllabus. Now let's look at the syllabus schedule on this spreadsheet. So this is only a 1-term class. So we don't have time to get into a lot of detail. We're just going to have 1 topic per week. That's what 1 credit can handle. And that's too bad because hydraulics is just this fascinating, flexible, useful way of doing things. You can do almost anything with fluid power and do it at any level of force. It's just really controllable and cool. But anyway, we're just going to get the basics. So here's our schedule, 1 week at a time. The first week, we're going to look at some principles of fluid power. And by fluid power, we mean hydraulics and pneumatics. We're going to look at some basic principles, and we'll have a quiz where we're going to do some basic arithmetic, figuring out how big is this cylinder, how much oil pressure is there. Don't worry, I'm going to step through all of the quiz questions with you step by step on the PowerPoint slides and in the video. So so I basically show you here's what to do. Here's how to do it. We'll do that for just 2 weeks. So the first week we'll look at some principles. The second week we'll look at some more principles. That's the end of the calculator and the arithmetic. Then after that, we start looking at what are the components in a hydraulic system and how do they work and what are the symbols that represent those components. We'll look mostly at hydraulic components, but then at the end of the course, will last 3 weeks, we'll look at pneumatic components. And pneumatics is pretty cool too. By the way, as you'll find out as we go through the term, a big difference between hydraulics and pneumatics is that air in a pneumatic system is compressible. So it can be like a spring. You can change the volume. Hydraulic fluid is not compressible. What you have is what you have. So there, we just learned something already, if you didn't know that already. Let's see, what did I want to say about this? Well, let's just keep working in order. Settle down. So right under the syllabus and the schedule is a title block. And I put that in here because you're going to do 2 drawings, a hydraulic schematic and a pneumatic schematic. So there's your title block. Then the very first week of the term, let's come down here and open the first week. So as with any Moodle class, the first thing you need to do is go to this introduction forum and make yourself known. And you have to do that the first week of the term so that you don't get administratively dropped by midnight on Sunday. Say something. I make a suggestion here. All right, do that. Then here we are in week 1. In week 1 here, where we're talking about hydraulic principles, if you click on this Moodle page symbol, it will open and you will see here are some PowerPoint slides, and then here is a video with me talking about those slides. I suggest that you download these PowerPoint slides to your computer. In addition to watching the video, also download these slides to your computer so that when you're stepping through the questions on the quiz, you can have the slides where I show you exactly what to do. You can have the slides right next to the quiz and just make it easier to step through. If you still run into problems with these quizzes, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Send me an email and we'll talk about it. I don't want this to be daunting. So that's week 1. What else do we want to say? I think that's about all we want to say, really. Just the usual lack of due dates. So let me just say, notice that none of these quizzes has a due date next to it. That's because you can do it any time between now and the end of the term. There are 2 drawings, as I mentioned. Here's one of them in week 6. I recommend you do that in a timely way so that I can make comments for you, send the comments back to you. You can fix whatever needs fixing and turn it in again. So there's one there in week 6, and the pneumatics one is, I forget where it is, week 8 or 9 or so. There's a little tiny final exam quiz at the end of the term, and it's just like the other quizzes. It's just a few questions. They're not complicated. You have, what do they call it? Unlimited attempts. So if you get an answer wrong, you can go back and try again. And you can do this final exam whenever you want. I mean, if you want to do the final exam today and get it over with, go for it. I don't advise that, but you could. Now, I would like to talk about this Google Shared Drive. I have put a video on the Moodle page showing you how to find the Google Shared Drive. And as you've probably heard me say ad infinitum before, the reason we have this Google Shared Drive thing is because once the term ends, you will lose access to this course. And so I have put the course materials for every drafting course into this shared drive folder, and you have access to it. Right now you have access to it with your LCC email address. If for some reason you lose that email address, just send me a note, let me know, and I'll enter whatever your new address is so that you have access. So here are all the drafting classes. Here is the hydraulics drafting class right here. I'm going to click on that. And here are not only the syllabus and schedule, but also here is that PDF of the chapter from the companion website. And it looks about like the book looks. It's kind of, I admit it's kind of dorky looking, but that's okay. Here's what it looks like. It's a PDF. He's got some good information in here and good examples to look at. So here's the PDF. Now you don't need to download it. I have downloaded it for you. And that is in this Google Shared Drive. I think that's all we need to say. This should be a low-impact term. As I say, it's 1 credit. There are just a few topics and a few quizzes and 2 drawings, and that's it. So let me know if you run into questions or issues, and I hope this all goes smoothly for you. Stay in touch. Talk to you later.